Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Wildflower Wool YouTube channel. I'm Louise from Wildflower Wool, and I am here every week casting on something new. Um, I hope everybody has a great start to their week. I'm just going to try to fix the lighting here for a little bit. See if that helps. Anyways, welcome. So this week, hi everybody. I see a few people joining in here already. So, did you have a chance to vote for the yarn this week? Got a few things to chat with you about. Of course, we're always going to start out talking about this week's vote. If you're new, just finding us here, every Monday you can find a poll, Instagram stories, you can vote Instagram feed post, Wildflower World's Facebook page, and right here on YouTube for either the yarn for this week's project or for the project itself. This week it was yarn. So we'll talk a little bit about this. I'll give you the breakdown of what the winning yarn is, and then we'll talk about what the project is, give you a teeny tiny little update on last week's project, and I have a couple finishes to show you. A couple finishes, well, maybe one and a half. Can you have a half a finish? I guess it doesn't really mean it's finished, does it? Anyways, we will discuss that in a minute or two. So let's see, let's get started right in on the voting. If you watched last Thursday, Jocelyn and I were chatting here, and somehow we talked ourselves into doing a capelet race this month. So from now, the rest of June until the first week of July, when Jocelyn and I chat again for our check in, we're going to cast on and knit, not finish. Um, but we'll see. I mean, we could finish if we want to, but chances are not. We're gonna see how far we each get. Jocelyn's got a really gorgeous capelet that she's had in her stash of patterns that she's wanted to knit for a while. I found one a couple of weekends ago that I know we've chatted about before. It's called the Noel capelet, and I don't. It's in an old magazine, Simply Knitting. I think that's what it's called. Simply Knitting. It's a British magazine from 2012, 2013. It's not available on Ravelry. You can find the pattern on Ravelry, but then it just refers you back to the magazine. So I found we had this old copy of the magazine, and I just really, really liked this capelet for some reason. I've never really had the big urge to knit one before, but I don't know, this one, the color, the ribbed neckline, just some basic raglan increases, like, it's really, really simple. Anyway, I don't know. I just liked it. Kind of fell in love with it, kind of got a little bit obsessed, and then I went and bought some yarn for it. So anyways, it is now going to be this week's New Start Monday project is the capelet. You guys were voting on the yarn. So I picked up some green. I had this green, and I think this was in a New Start Monday poll a couple of weeks ago. This with a beige to do a stranded hat, and the green and the beige lost to two shades of blue. So I pulled this out again because I had two people message me, and they're like, Louise, you always pair green and blue together, and green always loses. So I thought, okay, we'll try green against gray. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, can I try to get the voting and try to get green to win? I don't know. Right? Do people like color? Do people like neutral? I just never know how you guys are going to vote. So, anyways, I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I went back and I looked, and I'm like, I think for kind of like the last 3 weeks, blue has won over any other color choice. I'm like, that's really interesting. I hadn't really paid any attention to any kind of trends as to what was winning in the poll. So I thought, okay, that's really interesting. So I thought, okay, I wanted to make sure that green was in the voting again, and I thought, okay, I'm definitely going to make sure it's not blue and see what happens. So this gray is the actual yarn that I bought for the capelet. The green I just bought because I liked it. And the color is so pretty. I think it's called Fern. On the ball band, it doesn't give you any color, any name. It just gives you a color number, which is 6175. Barocco Vintage Chunky. So the chunky part is a teeny tiny little bit of a not a problem, just a little modification maker. That's what it is. Because the pattern is written for it says Aaron in the pattern on Ravelry, it says worsted, and we all know worsted and Aaron are pretty close, and you can just play around with your gauge a little bit. So, anyways, so I bought this because this here, this is the King Cole, and I showed this a couple of weeks ago. This was new stuff that I bought a couple of weeks ago when the girls and I were away at our little knitting retreat and found this at the knitting basket. King Cole Forest. And then what's the forest name? Oh, the forest name, colorway is Gisborne Forest. So anyways, it's just a really nice gray, and it says on it, right on it says Aran weight, and the gauge is 18 stitches. So I bought that for the pattern. But this, I thought it won't take too much to play around, gauge, and the measurements of the pattern to figure out, right, I'll just do a size smaller needles. I knit loose, so I always have to go smaller needle size anyway. So, and even though this is a chunky, I mean, it's not a super chunky. So I don't know. I think, if I end up using green, it would work. Just do a little bit of math. I don't know. And does that look, Aaron? I don't think that looks super heavy at all. Who knows? Anyways, I'm kind of anyway, a gauge swatch, right, is what's gonna have to be. So, anyways, this is a really super pretty color green. This is just a really nice shade of gray. And it was interesting, the voting a lot of people were voting, and giving I like it when people, tell me that, green's their favorite color. Some people vote gray because gray is neutral. You can never go wrong with gray. A lot of people said gray is very wearable. It will go with a lot of things. Some people said green's really pretty, but the gray, you'll be able to wear it with more things. Other people said it's spring. The green is so pretty. Let's go with some green, have some nice color. So it was pretty divided that way, everybody had great reasons for voting for either color, but you guys, the voting was very much one way. It was, I was really surprised because I was keeping an eye on the Instagram stories really close this morning. I was every I don't know, so often I'd go in and just look and be like, "Ooh, interesting." Um, there was there was a lot of votes for one, and the next time I checked it, it was like, "Whoa," the other color had, like, caught right up to it. "Oh, okay, maybe this is gonna be a really close one." But I sat and I did a quick tally over on all the places you can vote, and we had exactly at about 7:30 tonight when I was counting things up, had exactly 100 votes, and one colorway definitely pulled ahead. So Liz is giving me a drum roll here. So visualize, listen to, you get a drum roll in your head. And here it is. This week's yarn that is being cast on. Is it the gray? Is it the green? Who got 68% of the votes? It was the green. So, you guys, if you have been a fan of green you guys are on the opposite side this week. The green beat out the gray. It was close. The green started out of the gate way ahead, and then gray caught up because a lot of people are saying no gray because it'll you can wear it with anything. It's more wearable, and then all of a sudden green. Everybody's like, nope, green's pretty. It's pretty. It's gorgeous. It's spring, and I have to say, I do agree with you that the gray probably would be more wearable. Green, depending on what you're wearing, maybe won't match with everything, but it's really pretty. So I am going to have to do a little bit of modifying. I'll just do a bit of a swatch, pick a needle size. I wanted to have nice drape. So and then we'll just see, kind of compare it to hopefully there's a schematic with some measurements and then make an educated guess. Cast on, it's knit top down. And then obviously I will try it on. Get a little bit done and then try it on right away just to make sure, see how the opening is for the neck because it's going to, I'm not sure if it actually starts with the ribbing or if it starts with the body and then you pick up at the end and do the collar. But either way, want to put it on just to make sure that it looks like there's going to be enough room for that ribbing, or if the ribbing starts with the ribbing, if the knit starts with the ribbing, you know what I mean? That it looks like it's gonna be okay. And if I have any doubts at all, I'm just gonna pull it out right from the start and try again, just to make sure this looks like it's gonna fit. But it's gonna be green, and you know what? I'm not too worried about this not matching with things. I think this would still, look nice over navy, nice over black, nice over gray, and be fine with jeans. So I think it'll be something great. And if I get it done this summer, it'll be great for a nice summer evening sitting out on the patio. Even though it is chunky, which will make it a little warmer, but I don't know. If it, you know, I always think of Capelet kind of as a summer. Maybe it's just because we're in summer, but it'll be a perfect spring or fall, early winter, winter inside, right? I mean, I think it'll be fine. I think I'll have lots of places I can wear this. So green it is. I saw Liz. Did Liz say still on the winning side? Fantastic. Good. Well, a lot of you picked green tonight, so green it is. Very, very excited to give this capelet a go. And yeah, have it ready to wear when it gets, I think cool nights would be fine to pull on because I was wearing um a wool sweater a couple of nights ago, and first thing in the morning is it's kind of cooled down here right now. So I think that'll be perfect for outdoor knitting. So this guy is going to go back. I've got two more balls of this. Maybe this will end up being another capelet if I really like it. It's also a little bit of a test to see if I like a capelet or not. And we'll see. I'll knit one, wear it, and go from there. See if I make another one in a different color or not. So I told you guys that I was going to go to Little Red Mitten and pick up my new needles. Well, here they are. So you guys will know, have seen these around. They're nothing new. I have just wanted a set of Chagu interchangeable needles for ever and ever and ever. And I just never ever ordered myself a set. And this year I thought Mother's Day birthday combo, this is what I'm treating myself to. So, and I actually didn't even go in the yarn shop, you guys. I forget what we were doing. Anyways, my daughter went and picked them up. Um, yeah, I think our plans got changed. Yeah, something. Anyway, so she was out and about. I think I was home with the baby maybe, and she slipped out and stopped and picked them up for me. So I am so excited for these. This is the full set. I couldn't decide between if I wanted the small set, which is the smaller size. And I guess I'm assuming they must have gone from 2.75 to 5 millimeter is the small size. And then the large goes 5.5 millimeter. Oh, I should say US sizes for you guys, shouldn't I? Okay, so 2.75 millimeter or US 2 up to a US 8, which is a 5 millimeter. The large size is 5.5 millimeter or a US 9, all the way up to 10 millimeter, which is US 15. And then, so I couldn't decide. So I just got the whole set because I thought, you know what, I'm going to need the whole set eventually anyways. So I just did the whole set. And if you don't already know, the Chow the one thing that I find interesting with these is that depending if you have the small or the large size, you have different cables. One cable does not fit a size like a 4.5 millimeter or US 7 with, like a 6 millimeter or a US 10. Yeah. So you have to just be a little bit mindful when have your cables. The cables come labeled small and large, depending on which half of the needle set you're using. And I had already picked up a few extra cables. I think this is a large cable. So this starts at the 5.5 millimeter or the US 9 and goes up. And I got those, and I got an extra set of 5 millimeter needle tips because you always have those ones that you always have on multiple projects, right? So my set is the 5-inch tips. I was really, really stuck whether I wanted to order the full set in 5-inch or 4-inch. And I was like, oh, I talked to a few people. I don't know if we talked here or if it was actually, in person. Um, and people were really divided. So do you guys know, do you like the 5-inch tips or 4-inch tips? I won't don't you won't hurt my feelings if you say 4 because I'm thinking eventually, maybe Christmas, I'm gonna get myself a full set of the 4 just so I have both. I talked to the girls at Little Red Mitten, and they were divided. Half of them had the 5-inch, half of them had the 4. Some people one girl, she said she had both sets because depending on what she's knitting, um, if you want something a little smaller, right? So if you've got an 8-inch cable with a 4-inch and a 4-inch tip, you'll get your 16-inch for hats. So I was really torn, and I don't think you can go wrong either way because I'm sure different projects you're going to want either size. So I thought I'll pick up a couple of sets of 4-inch, the kind of sizes that I would use a lot, and just tuck them in the extra little um, pockets down here to have for right now. And they'll see. I mean, I'm not going to know until I actually start knitting with them, and and we'll see. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed either way. I see some people. Oh, Liz says she thinks she's got the 5-inch. Oh yes, Diane. Yes, yes, you're right. I was going to say it does come with. So you get your cables, and then in the little outside pocket, it does come with, do they call it an adapter or a connector? Maybe both. So you've got some little ends. So if you want to take your needle tips off, you can put these stoppers on, and there's different sizes for the small and the large cables. And they're so tiny. I can't, you won't even be able probably hardly see it. But there is a little metal piece that so you can connect your cables. So multiple cables, if you're doing an Afghan, you can make that bigger. And then there is what did Diane call it? A connector, a converter, a little piece here, and adapter. Maybe it's adapter that you can use. Oh my goodness. Don't want to drop this because they are really, really tiny. Okay, so this little guy, I think that is your cable connector, I'm pretty sure. And there's another little metal piece that is the adapter. So if you do have a large cable and you want to use it on a smaller needle tips, you just screw this guy in, and then your cables, you can switch them back and forth. I'm thinking I have the right piece. Oh, wait. No, maybe I do. Anyways, I haven't tried it out, but they're in here, and I'm just gonna leave them all in here until I get to that point, and I'll play around with it. So, and then there was just some nice, cute, colorful stitch markers in different sizes. So that's fun. So let's see. I'm gonna see. So Liz thinks she has a 5-inch. Louise says, "Oh, I have a full set of 5-inch tips and a small set in the 4-inch tips." Cindy says she thinks hers are the 4-inch. Susie says, "I like the 4-inch set and use the smaller set more than large." Well, I honest to goodness, you guys, I sat with the Little Red Mitten website open for a couple of nights looking at them and thinking, what would I use? Would I use the small? And then there's the mini sets for lace, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Um, one of our guild members, I think she has all the sets. because I'm thinking, yeah, I can see that happening because I'm pretty sure whatever you're knitting, you're eventually will use all of them. So then there's just a needle sizer as well, which is handy to have. Even though all of the the tips, they are marked on there. You kind of see that on the screen, can't you? So I don't know how much that wears off though as you knit with them. What else was I gonna say? So anyways, yeah, so I went with the whole set and I'm really, really happy. Don't think I'm gonna be disappointed at all. Okay, so let me see what else is here. Cindy says I do have some in 5 inch as you were buying them separately, right? Oh, Val says 4 inches because I don't knit big things. Perfect. Well, see, and part of the reason I decided to go with the full set was because right now I am really kind of addicted to buying chunky yarn. And I don't know. Maybe I kind of flip flop back and forth because sometimes I think I just want to knit lightweight, just do fingering weight cardigans and socks. And then I flip the other way and I'm like, nope, I just love the idea of a nice chunky cowl and hat. It knits quick, it's warm. I just like that cozy look that chunky yarn gives you. So that's why in the end I went with the full set because I really couldn't decide. So let me see. Val said 4 inch because she doesn't like to do the big things. So that's good. Diane says, the connector is different. And if you want to make your cables longer, but the other item will convert it from a large to small and small. Oh, okay. So the connector is different. Okay. Yeah, I know. And both those pieces that I pulled out look the same. So I'm going to have to actually do a little looking because I think they're supposed to be um, the adapter in here, but I know you can definitely buy them separately. So I'll have to look. Maybe it didn't come with the kit. I know in the kit it listed out everything that was in it and then some things that you could buy separately. So maybe I have that mixed up. I will have to double check. Okay. So let me see. Oh, okay. They will unscrew and become connectors. Oh, so can you? Okay, let me read Diane's comment again. You can also unscrew your needle ends and use those if you lose your other one. Oh, okay. And they will unscrew and become connectors. Okay. Hi, Donna. Oh, you have both sets, and I use both. It depends on what you're knitting. Exactly. So you can't really go wrong, and you're not right or wrong with one or the other because I probably need them all anyways. So, yeah, I just went with the full length because I was partly when I went to order them, they Little Red meant they didn't have any in and they were placing an order. I went right at the right time and they were placing an order, so she just ordered me in an extra set. And that's what she said. She's like 5 inch or 4 inch. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, I forgot about that. And I'm like, I don't know. So I thought I've never really when you're knitting with I don't know. I just pick up a needle and I've never really worried so much about what the needle tip length is. So anyway, that's why I went with 5 because I think most of the time that's what I knit with, and I've never ever thought I wish I had a shorter needle tip. So that's what I started with off the bat, and then I think I'll just get the smaller size later on and then try them and then see what I like. Okay, what else is it? Louise says, "Oh, I put a rubber band in my bag. Oh, to grip the needle tip and T-pin. Yeah, that's a good idea. Something so yeah, you can give it an extra tighten. You know what? I will admit, I will admit, I hardly ever tighten my needle tips. I know I'm so bad. And every couple of rounds or rows as you're turning it, I just stop. Like you turn your work around, you push your stitches up. I just twist my needle tip on. It's just like it's a habit. I just get my stitches set up. I screw on the needle tip. I think even if I had it on tight, I would still go through that motion because I do it every day. You would think I would take, what, 10 seconds and actually tighten it. I know I really should. I'm just lazy. So, but yeah, but I will also say there has been a couple of times I've forgotten to tighten my tip and it has come off. in my knitting. And sometimes if it's just garter stitch stockinette, it's not that bad. Your tip comes off from your cable, they separate, and those stitches kind of like pop off and they're sitting in no man's land. There's like not on the tip, they're not on the cable. And that's fine unless it's lace that is momentarily stressful and may be accompanied with a few four-letter words and thinking, "Why did I not tighten that?" So, yeah, so highly suggest tightening it if you're new to interchangeable needle tips, really do tighten them. It's one of those things, do what I say, not as I do. So I can't really complain too much when it's my own fault. Lynn, you said you bought sets, with the short tips and you love them. Okay, perfect. Anne says, "I have the 4-inch small needles, um, only if through the 4-inch longer needles," if that makes sense. So yeah, because you can kind of mix and match, right? Because and really, like the full set, you've got 10 millimeter needles. So unless you really like knitting with super chunky yarn, you might not use these very often or at all, right? So, but I think I will because I do like knitting with super bulky yarn. And Amber, okay, yes, Amber, good. I just saw Amber said she missed, and I see Liz has already answered. So yes, if anybody's just coming in, winning yarn this week was the green. So we're just chatting about the needle tips. Hey, Joanne. Um, okay, let me go back here. Let's see. Oh, hi, Natalie. Natalie likes the 4-inch. Stubby fingers. So, okay, so the 4-inch works good for you. That's excellent. Hi, Joanne. Remember, if you take the needles to use on another project, remember to put the size of your needles exactly, because we all know we're going to think, "I'll remember that." Seriously, I do that every time. You would think after all these years, I would know I am not going to remember anything after like a week or two. But yet, I think I'll just know that. I know. So excellent. Good advice, Joanne. Exactly. Mark it down somewhere. What needle tips should be going back on? I know Knit Picks, they had, I think they had screw on ends too. And then, but I think they had some, like they were all marked. So you would have a set that were 4 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter. So it said right on. But then, what are the odds of having the the ones that are labeled the right size if they're not already on another project? So that could be a problem too. Yeah, so put a note, put a paper, pen and paper right in your project bag, right? What if those needle tips are? Amber, you liked your fixed needles. So see, exactly. Fixed needles are great. And that's what I started out with. I remember, oh my goodness, how many years? It's probably been 11 years since I went to Rhinebeck. And when I was down there, that's where I started buying my Chagu needles. And I bought, I don't know, I bought a fair number of them, like maybe 6 fixed ones, and then a really cute little fabric needle case for circular needles. And I thought I bought them all 40-inch length because I thought that's it. I'll just buy, kind of must have been, I don't know, 4, 4.5, 5, 6 millimeter, something like that. There was some small ones too. It doesn't matter. Anyways, and I thought, it's just, I don't know. Somehow tell myself, that's okay. These are the only needles I will ever need because they're magic loop. I can knit everything with them, right? Well, yeah, we all know that doesn't work. And honestly, a magic loop isn't my favorite way to knit anyways. So, um, yeah, so but the fixed needles is what I started out with. And yeah, so now just let you know, I just need the whole interchangeable set because I think they will make me very happy. And I will definitely use them all so that it's not like they're going to sit here and collect dust. Okay. Oh, yeah. Liz says if I don't tighten my needles, the yarn gets stuck in the join. And that is also very true because as your tip starts to unscrew, you've got the little, um, okay, the screw, you guys know what I mean. The screw end, the ridges, whatever. Yes, it does. The yarn gets kind of in that little dip between the cable and the needle tip where the screw end is, or these ones. Yeah. Anyways, you guys know what I mean. I'm gonna move on from that. But yes, absolutely. But that's also a good reminder, right? If that your yarn gets kind of stuck there, it's like, "Ooh, something's coming undone." So then you can tighten it before it actually completely comes off and you lose your stitches. Oh, Natalie, those jar lid grips work well. Yeah, they would work really well too, wouldn't they? Notch in the threading. Yeah, the threads. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, threads. That's exactly. Good job, you guys. We have like ESP. You can like read my mind. Know what I'm talking about. Even though I can't find the word, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let me see here. Um, oh, we got lots of comments in here tonight. Da, 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 da. Oh, mine came off. Oh, no, Diane said hers. So your tip came off on a mohair cowl and I lost about 18 stitches and it was a lace pattern. I know. See? So now had you just had not tightened it, I'm guessing, right? Like me. Hi, Bernadette. Hi, Sam. Janelle. Hey, welcome. So yeah, I'm watching on my phone. I'm already for bed afterwards. Oh my gosh, Amber. So you must have had a busy day. Okay, so oh, that's good. You guys are all chatting here. That's great. So now yeah, so the Fiber Friends have got the Get Her Done challenge started in June. And Liz, I know, Liz, I totally forgot to open the thread on the weekend. Anyways, I did it today, and then I looked on Facebook and I saw Liz is like, Louise, there's no Ravelry thread open." But by that time I had already opened it. So, yeah, I was a little slow, but you guys are, like, so super fast. You guys get things done so quick. So, yeah, if you're doing that Get Her Done project, is like clear your needles, get your whips done. Fiber Friends, are hosting that challenge this month. So go over there into Ravelry. If you're finishing up anything, any kind of whip, then go post your pictures in the Fiber Friends thread because it is now open. So I'm sure there's like an avalanche of projects coming in over the weekend that got finished. Oh, Amber, your Get Her Done is finishing up some cotton socks. Fantastic. Hi, Sam. Janelle, I hardly use your fixed needles now, just the interchangeables. Well, it is pretty handy, isn't it? Like, really, like if you're going away somewhere, just to take one um one little set of needles with you that's got everything in there. Just in case, if you're starting a new project and you have to swatch and you don't, you got it all in one spot. As long as you actually have your needles in here, I am notorious for having lovely sets of needle holders. And then I open them up and there's like two sets of needles in there because my needles are all on projects. So, which is my own fault. So, oh, Sabrina says she prefers fixed needles. Well, sometimes you do because then you don't have to worry about them coming unscrewed and all that business. So, good job we have so many options because everybody can choose whatever works best for them, right? Oh, Janelle says, yeah, hardly use oh, yes, 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 yes. So, oh, ice cream. Oh, who's talking about ice cream? Oh, you guys, don't get me started about ice cream. Jocelyn, you're eating ice cream? Mmm, yummy. Hi, Susie. Oh, you have both fixed and interchangeable and use them all. I know, I use all mine too. But you know what I am actually going to do this time, you guys? I finished a shawl. Okay, let me take this time. I'm going to show you the shawl I finished. And this needle, I actually set it aside and I'm going to get rid of it. It was not the nicest interchangeable needle. And yeah, I was finding I was struggling to push the stitches up over the cable to the needle tip. And I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? So I thought this is one of the needles that's going to be gotten rid of when I get my new set. So you guys remember this lovely little shawl. I started, I don't know, a month and a half ago, something like that. This is the Lolo Did It Blue Jean Baby colorway. Look at that. So it's all finished. I cast it off. And remember last week, I was trying so hard. I had knit a lot on this last week because I was really, really trying to get this done. And I had the tiniest little ball left. Well, you know what? I knit, I think, literally 5 rows and cast off, so I was so close. So I did finish it. There's the full width. That was the last row that I knit. And then here is the length. So it turned out a nice good size. So that's where I cast on, right there, and then just increased out. And it has this, there you go. You can see this. I think was it last week I was trying to show that edge and you could not see it, but there. You can see it looks like on my increase side. But see how it has those like really pretty like yarn over looky to it, but it's not. It's knit front and back. Very interesting. So look at this. It's a lovely. Can't wait. I think I'm going to keep this one for me. Uh-oh. There. So one skein of sock yarn gives you just a nice, perfect little scarf. It's not really a shawl, but to wear. So this will be fantastic to wear this fall. It's not really, large enough to do anything for the sun, to wear like at the beach kind of thing. It's not really big enough for that, but I have other ones for that. So it's finished. So it might go in the Christmas box, and I may just hope nobody picks it because it's orange, and maybe nobody else will like orange. We'll see. But I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have this as my go-to pickup knitting, knit night projects. I'm just going to find another one skein. Oh, maybe this will be next Monday's start. I may just go through some of my sock yarn and just pick a pretty color and just cast on another one of these. I really like having just an asymmetrical garter stitch shawl on the needles. You can just pick it up wherever you are and just carry on. So that is my finish. And yes, the needle, which since talking about the needles, that needle is going to go because it was not enjoyable. Okay, I'm going to take a peek here in the comments here. Um, okay, you guys, let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, well, Amber, I'm so happy that you're here tonight. We should be able to. Oh yeah. Yes, Natalie, I know. We've been chatting a lot. I mean, I've been doing these for quite a while, like years. So yes, you guys, I guess, should know me pretty well to be able to fill in the gaps when I can't find the words, right? Swatch, what is that? Oh, you I saw 2 posts on Instagram today, people saying, "I don't swatch." And I'm like, "Ooh, okay." But they also said, "I measure as I go and pull out if I need to and like rip back and restart." So I'm like, "Okay, that's fair." Um, let's see. Oh, does Sam have a question? I'm not sure. I might have missed a couple comments here. Oh, that's what Amber says. Hubby will be shocked. He still does, but my finishing has gotten better, you guys. I'm like really trying to work hard. Okay, Jocelyn said, oh, I meant, no, there we go. Listen, I have had, what? Oh, yeah, Jocelyn is in the middle of a heat wave, you guys. 38 with humidity forecasted for today. It was way too warm for anything but salads, ice cream. You got, I, I am not judging. I'm like, ice cream is my go to. I would eat it 3 meals a day, honestly. It's in August. Janelle, oh, colorway knits. Thank you. Amber, yes. Sabrina, oh, it was 95 for you guys, and your husband wants soup. Some things you just want year round, right? That's so funny. Oh, Liz said socks, you knit socks. I know socks, they're a good one too. Again, right? Just round and round, just a nice vanilla sock. Okay, you guys. So my other finish. So if you weren't here at the very beginning, I said that I had one or two, and I kind of said I had two finishes, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe one and a half. And it's the knitting is done. So again, Jocelyn, and if you guys watched Jocelyn and I Thursday night, remember this sweater? I was supposed to have had it done Thursday night. No, Friday night. Friday night when Jocelyn and we actually ended up chatting Friday night. This sweater, remember this bulky weight yarn? came right straight from Peru, and I started out back in February knitting this for the Fiber Friends for the sweater challenge month, and it was started out as a vest, and I didn't get it done. Then a couple months with Jocelyn, it was my challenge. It was to get this thing done. I didn't. And then last month we pulled it out and like, okay, I'm gonna get it done this month. Last Monday, like a week, 4 days before Jocelyn and I were supposed to chat, I pull it out of the bag and I have got half the ribbing done. So this vest I turned into a sweater. It was another one of my gauge to garment sweaters. Can you see? And it was knit in two pieces. And I had the one piece completely done and I added sleeves, little sleeves on it. And the front, the second piece, I had a little bit of ribbing. But it was super chunky yarn, and with a 6 millimeter needle. I thought, "Oh, I can get this done." And then Jocelyn and I ended up, we had to reschedule from Thursday to Friday. So that gave me a little extra time. And, so I just figured out I measured the first piece that I had done, I knew how many inches I had done, divided by how many days I had to knit, so I thought, "Okay, I have to knit 6 inches a day." And I was ahead Monday, I was already into Tuesday's knitting, Tuesday was into Wednesday, Wednesday was into Thursday. I'm like, "Easy peasy, I'm gonna have this done." Well, then you know what? On Friday, oh, well, Friday, what did I do? Anyway, I think I went out. Somebody offered to take me out for groceries. I think that was it because I still can't drive. So I like when somebody was available, that could actually take me out of the house. I'm like, do I knit and get my sweater done? Or do I go out? And I'm like, of course I went out. I'm like, yes. So well, so we were out and we did some errands and things, and I'm like, didn't get my sweater done. But it was close. I only had, what did I like, 18 rows or something to knit. Anyways, all the knitting's done. I cast it off and I have it half sewn together. And the sewing was quite enjoyable. So there you go. You can see my side seam there. I just laid it down. I did not block it because who has time for that? Um, I did not block it before I seamed it. Now, typically, it does, if you wet block your pieces out, it does make the edges uncurl and they do lie nicer and it is a little easier to seam. But honestly, you can do it when they curl. You just uncurl them as you go, pick up, and it's just fine. So you can do it either way. I did not block, and there's my seam. And it was fun. I just listened, put on an audiobook and just sat and worked away. So I just kept going. This so and I decided I didn't use the yarn that I knit it with because there's the yarn I knit it with. See how nice and thin that is? And see how thick it gets? I thought, okay, that is not going to make for good seaming yarn. So what I did was I found my fancy project bag. Cheryl would be horrified that I'm using a Ziploc bag, but all my project bags are full. So there was my needle that I knitted on. I'm pretty sure that's a 6 millimeter. And look at that. It has a dent in it, you guys. I was really, truly in need of a needle upgrade here. But this needle actually worked fine, even though it was dented. So I'm just going to keep, oh, and it's an Addy, you guys. Hmm. Anyways, it worked fine. So I'm going to keep it. Um, so this is what I pulled out. This is the yarn that I'm knitting my blanket for our guild. And I thought, okay, this is close to the same color. But honestly, you guys, when you do mattress stitch, I could really truly have sewn this together with like hot pink. And you don't see your seaming thread through there. I mean, maybe if you like really, really, really stretched it, you might, but you don't. So look, I thought, perfect, right? I mean, that's close enough. Easy peasy. This is just, and it's an acrylic. This is 100% wool, but I didn't worry about this being acrylic because the sweater is wool, so I'm going to hand wash the sweater anyways. The acrylic will be fine being hand washed. Would I have done the other way around? No. If I had knit the whole sweater in acrylic thinking I could wash and dry it and then seam it with a wool, no, because then your seams are gonna go all wonky if you wash and dry because it'll get, um, felted, right? So, but this way around was totally fine. So, I have half of it to go. I just sewed up the shoulder seam here. So there's my sleeve. So I just started at the bottom at the ribbing, worked through the ribbing, up the body, and then just laid it this little sleeve straight out and just kept right on going up to I've got a little bit of ribbing, one by one ribbing here just to hold that flat. And then I ended it. I've got a tail to weave in. And then I just started on here, started up my little bit of ribbing across the top. And this part I've just taken another oh, actually, this is the crappy needle that I knit the shawl on. So its last act is here. I just wove it in through the length of the body and the sleeve. So there's just a cable all the way along here. So it's just holding it together. Across the top, I just used a couple of stitch markers and a safety pin, and I pulled it on and tried it on, and it fits perfect. So I do have to make my neck opening a little smaller. That wasn't quite far enough, but otherwise, it's perfect. So this is like a half done project. The knitting's done. I just need to finish seaming it up tonight. So the knitting's done. It fits. Almost to finish, almost to finish. So that is like super cool. So I knit that whole body. That was the chunk of the knitting that I did. I cast off that little bit on the shawl, knit that whole body of the sweater. Last week's last week's new start is barely started. I got distracted. I got the yarn wound. This is this Eco Chunky, which I'm so excited. Estelle Eco Tweed Chunky. This is the natural, this is the denim. It's got little flecks in there. Um, this is very embarrassing, you guys. I started casting on. I didn't even get the casting on finished. And but I'm doing the alternating cable cast on, a knit one, a purl one. I love the edge on it. So sorry, nothing exciting to see there, but there is a few stitches on, so I'm counting that as I just started. I just sweater knitting pulled me away. So that was that. The only other knitting that I did was I did work on my actual blanket because this is our guild project and I'm getting behind on it. So I wanted just to sit one day and say, I finished the square, and there's Linnell's super cute stitch marker that is doing nothing except looking beautiful, making me smile every time I look at it. So I finished the square, and we're not going to look super, super close because I'm worried there might be a mistake right along the top up here. But we're not going to worry about that. We're moving on. I don't think anybody will notice it, and from like back here, I think it looks just perfect, right? It's one of those things is like, is it going to bother me as I'm using this blanket? I don't think so. So I'm just carrying on. And I wanted to be able to say that I had started the next month's, and it's lace too. So what I'm doing, instead of doing them individual squares, I opted to just do a strip. So there's January. That's that butterfly stitch. Super, super fun. Butterfly. There is this one. It looks like cables, but it's all lace. Isn't that fun? February. Oh, I just finished March. on the weekend. March, you guys. And I have a start on April. So I am going to work on this a little bit tonight, trying to get back into May. If I feel like I'm only 1 month behind, I don't feel like I'm too far behind. I feel like I can still easily catch up. So I'm just going to do this one more square and then this strip will be done. I'm going to do 4 blocks and then start another one. So that's what I worked on for that. And that was the bulk of my knitting. Um, the sweater, I'm pretty happy that I got that much done on the sweater, and it will be done for this fall because I tried it on today and I'm like, whoa, it's warm, even though it's short sleeve, and I'm thinking of like you just using it as a layering piece in the winter. So we'll see. Um, Oh, what's it? Oh my god, Liz, I know, right? I have on multiple occasions left the house like this and come home from shopping and my needle is still there. Um, it's June. I know. I know. That's what I know, and that's what I realized when I was starting this. I thought, "Okay, I'm only one block behind," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm farther behind than I had thought." So I know that's why I thought I need to get working on this because if I get too far behind, then I'm really gonna get stuck. Oh, Susie, what is that? The Malberg pattern totes no swatch, but you do check. So is that the hat? So I know there's like I've done like top down hats before, and that's you don't have to swatch because you just start at the top and you increase out, but it's pretty loosey goosey is the only term that I can come up with, and I don't think that's the right but it's not an exact science because you wanna increase out to the top of your head, and it's like, well, where exactly is that, right? Do you increase out to here, and then or you knit out, like, where do you stop your increases, and then you knit down straight? So, you don't need a gauge swatch for that because you can kind of eyeball it, and it's probably one of those ones where you have to just knit a hat, keep track of your stitch count and everything, and then your second hat, you adjust, more or less increases, right? Oh, Sabrina 95 in Las Vegas. Yeah, hot. We're okay, Donna. I know I'm way behind in the comments, but I'm just coming back here now. So this may be silly, but I'm trying to do color work and went up a needle size. Yes. But do I go back down when I'm back to one color? Yes. Probably. Yes. Most times you probably want to, because your gauge typically is different. So I would say yes, switch. Hey, Sally. Okay, Diane's saying yes. If it's a couple of rows, um, then yes, if it's a couple, if you switch back and you're done, yeah, that is if you don't think your gauge is off too much, and if it's only like literally like 2 rows, then you may be fine. I know in the past we did. I was helping to lead a knit along at a yarn shop, and a couple of people they got ahead of the pattern, and that was kind of the one thing that we were going to talk about the one night is about um needle size and color work, and because it was it was a shawl, and it was different stitch patterns, and there was color work, and there was brioche, and that's the thing, depending on some of those stitches, even if you go from something that's garter stitch, then a section of stockinette, you may find the exact same thing because stockinette or brioche is so stretchy, and if it's a shawl, you're going to find your project's going to go like this. you know, it's gonna go in and out. It's gonna be, um, like scallopy, right? Anyways, let's see. Oh, I need a oh, yes, exactly, for unusable needles. I know, I need to get them out and just set them totally aside so I don't. Um, oh, how is my knee doing? My knee is doing okay. It's doing alright. Oh, Bernadette. You know what? It is, let me see. At the end, which is almost now. Let me see, Bernadette. If I can I'll go take a look here. Amber, I saw Amber's a belly dancer, you guys. I saw you post some of that. That's awesome. Oh no, Cindy, your phone. Oh no. I know that's so easy to do though, right? Oh, I know. Sam had trouble with her sweater. Sam, never say never. Oh, threw it in the laundry in my jacket and forgot it was there. Oh no. Well, let's see. Hopefully you were ready for a new phone. Okay, let me see you guys. Okay, we're at the end of the chat. We're almost done. I'm going to try to do a quick look here and I'll tell you what that um it's on a blog. The pattern's on a blog and I always want to say something like yarns untangled, but I don't know if that's exactly at yarns length. So it is at yarn with an S, yarnslength.com. At yarnslength.com. Let me see if, so she's got it all in capital, so I don't know if that makes at yarnslength.com. So try that if you want to check out. It's really fun. So she did it as a weekly knit along on her blog. So we're our guild, so it's 12 squares. So she did it over 12 weeks, and then the 13th week she talks about joining. And I think she does a really like a really nice crocheted joining for it. We decided because obviously at Guild we meet once a month, 12 squares, 12 months, works perfect. You know, we've got one, Kathy's got her Afghans done. She even knit two blocks twice because she did. And here I can't even keep up. So I'm gonna try really hard. Um, anyways, so I have had a very busy week. Sweater knitting, and it has been so much fun. I've got my shawl finished, so now I'm excited for this capelet. I've got to I have to do a little work on last week's. I mean, this is pretty sad, but I have to say the alternating cable cast on, you guys, if you haven't done it, it is a very nice one for hats. It would be very nice. Um, Sweaters? I've never done it on a sweater. Maybe I will though, because anything you're doing one by one ribbing on, it gives a really nice edge. It's like the stitch from the front just kind of goes right around to the back, um, without that solid line, like that chain stitch that you get with a long tail cast on. And this does have a good stretch to it as well. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I've got lots of things that I'm gonna work on. So next Monday I will be back. Not sure what the project will be, but I kind of like the idea. I'm looking at my sock yarn wall and I'm like, ooh, how many pretty balls do I have? And I think this is finally my thing, you guys. You guys all know I go through spells of wanting to knit socks. And then I go through a long stretch where I don't knit socks. So but I look at these balls and I think, oh my gosh, this could be a one skein scarf. And that really excites me to cast it on. So maybe that might just be next week. So I might have just decided that a whole week in advance. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for voting. It is always so fun. I say it every week, but it truly is just a great way to start the week, just seeing what everybody's feeling, what everybody's voting for. It's a really fun way. I don't know if you guys go back and just, check Instagram stories just to see what you voted for, if it's, in the lead or not in the lead. But I check it quite a bit during the day. Always lots of fun. So I'm just going to take a quick peek here in the comments and then, Cindy's been trying to, yeah, you trying to save your phone. Is that what I am seeing here? Oh yeah, Sam, yes, you got your dishcloths to work on, so absolutely. Oh, bye, Jocelyn. Stay cool. Oh, yeah, you put the SIM card in a bag. Yeah, oh, with silica packs and crossing your fingers. Hopefully. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Um, Hi, Sherry. Oh, I love the alternating cable cast on for sweaters. Um, yes, absolutely. Amber, working on my lovely work children in the summer, and I'm hoping to teach them to knit again this year. What a great project. Have fun for you and fun for those kids because that's something they'll always remember that summer, that you taught them to knit. That's so fun. All right. Yeah, Cindy, good luck with the phone. Good night, everybody. Donna, I'm so happy that you joined us tonight. Nancy, I wonder what self-striping yarn would look like in your shawl. I don't know. Well, I know, and I don't know if I would. I don't know. That would be a good chat for next week, wouldn't it? Because I know at the start when you start it with 5 stitches, your stripes are gonna be like cutting out color block, and then as you go, they're gonna get thinner and thinner. But it might be kinda cool if you just embrace that as, like, a design feature, right? Hmm, okay, maybe we'll have to just try it and see. Alright, everybody, I think I'm at the end of the comments. Oh, Cindy might be getting a new phone. Darn it, my mind is a different place right now. Had to put my Oh, Chihuahua. Oh, that's so hard when you lose a pet. Well, exactly. That's why you were distracted with your phone. So, oh, that's so sad to hear. All right, everybody. Well, everybody, it's Monday, which means we have the whole week ahead of us for knitting and crafting. And I'm hoping everybody gets lots of time to cast something on, cast something off, just have a great crafting weekend. Winning yarn, Sabrina, was the green. I can't remember what you voted for. Anyways, hopefully it was green. Most people voted for green, and if not, oh well. Next week we can try again. It's like Wordle. If you break your streak, oh well. Just start again next week, right? Okay. Oh, Sam, what was your last comment? I don't know if I can see it here. I don't know if I can get my hand to class. Yeah, well, you know what? You just do the best you can. That's all you can do. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you all back here again on Monday, and we'll just chat some more knitting. Bye, everybody.